how do we get from the weeds, right, and the frustration, how do we get to something more positive? Well, let me take you through the SMART framework. First question, let's make it SMART by starting with the S, specific. What do you specifically want to achieve with your career? What is this goal all about? And if I was sitting down side by side with that person who wrote the goal, get out of the weed, what would that person say? Well, the person that I'm thinking about said to me, Maggie, I want to lead people. That's a role that I envision myself in, and I just like to experience it. I'd like to try it out. I'd like to become that person that I envision, right? So you start to hear the energy and the idea of moving forward, building skills, right? It's a much more positive verb. So that's what specifically they're trying to achieve. How about the M? The M is for measurement, right? So in this person's case, I said, well, how are you going to know when you've reached this goal? What's the outcome, right? That's the way to think about it with your own goals. What's the outcome that you can measure? Are there tangible outcomes? Are there intangible outcomes? Are there even emotions, meaning feeling confident or excited or being versatile? Are there even phrases you could put to how you'll feel as an outcome? This person said, well, when I perform the leadership role, that to me will feel like I've accomplished being a leader. And oh yeah, and by the way, when people say I'm a good leader, right? When I get external feedback that this is working, that's what will do it for me. All right, so this person's going along and they're saying, okay, well, I've got the SMART, the specific and the measurable piece. How about the achievability? Now, I want you to pay specific attention to these next two questions because, again, we're operating within a framework here, right? And I want you to think about the environment that you work in and the company that you work in, the opportunities available there. Is your career goal achievable? Is it feasible? Is there anything that might get in your way? And again, this isn't to be negative. This isn't to throw a wet blanket on your goal. It's actually to help you better achieve what you're trying to do. If you can anticipate obstacles and if you can plan for those, of course your chances of success will be higher. So with this individual, we're saying, okay, so you want to be a leader. You want to be seen as a leader. You want people to think you're a good leader. All right, I get all that. Well, what's going to get in your way? And this person said, uh-oh, in my current role, there aren't any immediate projects where I can be that leader. Right? It's just not an opportunity that I see is available right now. If you really want to be a leader, there may be community projects or other ways that you can participate. This person said, but there's a community project I'm interested in. You know, I bet that each one of you have interests that relate to your career and interests that don't relate to your career. Right? You're a full person. I get that. And in fact, the more you can express who you are and have outlets for the different aspects of who you are, the happier and more successful you're going to be in every aspect. So this person said, I can't necessarily get that leadership role right now from my team or from the work that I'm doing right now, but I can from my community. And that still counts. The R. Now, the relevance has to do with this idea of, remember I said the overlap, the sweet spot between getting what you want and getting what the company will benefit from too, both of those working together? This is a great question to ask. Well, does my career goal somehow relate to the company achieving its goals? If we all took a leadership role, even in our own positions, and said, I'm going to take responsibility and manage my position and do it really well because I have respect for myself, and that's what a leader does. Whether you're at whatever rung in the ladder, that's still going to be valuable to the organization, right? So this person said, well, when we said, does it relate to company goals? How about your longer-term plans? Anybody in here have longer-term plans for their life? Yeah, of course you do. Again, you're a full, interesting, unique, amazing individual with lots of interests, talents, and abilities. But even lifestyle plans, right? You may say, well, right now, as much as I want to be a leader, that might mean more hours or more responsibility. And my children are young, and I need to actually have a job that has a little bit more boundaries to it. So maybe being a leader right now isn't the best move. Let me give myself a couple of years so I can focus on other priorities too. That's okay. So this person did an informational overview. Have you guys heard of that term? Right, where you could talk to people in different fields, different areas within the firm, find out about those jobs. And this person did one with a manager and said, oh, the manager was talking about project experience being a great way to build leadership skills because that way I can develop in a more specific way and build those leadership skills over time. Great. The last part of the SMART is T, the time bound. There's a great principle. It's from a gentleman named Parkinson's. And I have a feeling that you've experience this in your own careers as well. What Parkinson said is that work expands to fill the time. Work expands to fill the time. So if you have all day to get something done, gee, it takes all day. If you have an hour to get it done, oh, you get it done in that hour, right? That's exactly how it works with our goals. If you don't set a deadline for yourself, if you don't set a time frame for what you're trying to accomplish, if you don't put boundaries to that time, it will take you forever to get there. Now, I'm a commitment phobe. I don't like to commit. I really don't. And when I have to make myself accountable to a deadline, part of me gets nervous, right? Maybe some of you feel that way too. Well, one of the things I've also learned with making time frames fit is that I've also got to be a bit more conservative about what I set up for myself. I think I can get everything done in 5 minutes. Well, no, you can't get everything done in 5 minutes. You can't get it done well. So when you think about time frame, think about not only what you can accomplish, but what you can accomplish in a way that's not going to tax you or wear you out. This goal should enable you and empower you. So give yourself some space if you need to. Now, this person said that the summer is a good time for them to build their skills as a leader because there's a community project they can complete in the next few months. Right? Do you notice this? They're not looking to take on a whole nother role. They're looking for a project that they complete in the next few months. That, to me, makes sense. That's got some boundaries built in, and it's a bit more conservative. All right, so let's see the results of our SMART goal. You ready for it? It's very motivating. Be careful. There you go. By the end of the summer, successfully lead a team in completing a project on time, on budget, and on target with positive team feedback, right? So it's this idea where we start off by saying, oh, I'm in the weeds, oh, I'm just the doer, oh, I want to be more strategic, to now saying, wait a minute, I can empower myself by taking on this project. I can complete it this summer, and I can get great team feedback because of it as well. All right, so you get the idea? You excited to set your own SMART goal?